How's everybody doing today? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. It feels like it's 100 degrees in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. So for those of you that are feeling that heat wave, I hope you guys are staying in the shade and getting some pool time. We are spending a lot of time at the pool. That has pretty much been every day for us. We're going to go to the pool right after this. So I'm really excited about that because it is hot. We have our AC blasting, but it still feels like there's a lot of heat. I wanted to talk about future plans that I have for grading because obviously the last submission that I did a review on, while it was a lot of fun and it really didn't cost me that much to get a lot of the cards I graded, the grades could have been a lot better. It's something that I have been thinking a lot about. So I have a huge submission that I've been talking about for a while now. There are over 30 of these Salamaments cards in this submission. 30 of these Salamaments SIR. We got like, we had like 15 Dead NA GX promo cards that were in this submission. But what had happened was, after the last submission reveal I did, I kind of decided, dude, you gotta be extremely critical on this next submission you send off. And this is not like, this is really just an update. It's not like, oh, this next one, I'm definitely going to get better grades. Like, I don't know. I'm new to grading overall. I've been collecting for years now, but I've only graded a couple large submissions, just kind of throwing cards in there. So, and it's all a learning experience and a science experiment as well. But this time around, as much as I hate doing it, I am going through, this might have been in the thumbnail, I'm going through all of these illustrations that I love and I want to send off because a lot of them do have like white dot corners or something like that. And even if I think the cards are phenomenal, I'm really trying to be harsh on pre-grading. I'm kind of saying like, okay, if they have the perfect front, they're perfectly well centered, I'll consider it. Then let's look at the back. If they have one dot corner, probably still going to send it if it's perfectly centered. But if the back has even two specks on two different corners, which, it feels weird, the idea of not grading some of these, even though I want to grade them anyways, because the submission that's on the way back now, I wasn't going to grade. So there's 5 cards that were separate from the really large submission I just sent off. It was 115 cards total, but for whatever reason, PSA via their app separated my submission from bulk and value. So these other cards are coming back value. I did get upcharged on them. I'm not happy about it, so I do know the grades. But the grades were good. So I'll reveal those when those cards come back in a couple days or whenever. It's really hectic right now in my life in general. Like, the last thing I should be doing right now is focusing on collecting or grading or even selling. Like none of this stuff matters in the grand scheme of what's going on in my life right now, because right now we just made another offer, signed another contract to buy a home. We have had 4 homes at this point outbid on. Which we've been paying list price for every single one of these homes. So it's kind of crazy that even paying list price now means nothing. Like, you have to basically come in with a stronger, better offer than everybody else above the list price, which I just think is ridiculous. Basically, in the housing market right now, people are basically listing their homes for a lot less than they should probably go for, and that's baiting in a lot of other competitive buyers. So yeah, it was rough, but it's been really fun looking at houses. It's kind of like collecting Pokemon cards, except way more stressful and way more money. So if you guys can't tell, if you don't notice it, I am stressed out. I am up to here with my stress levels. And I'm just trying to continue doing stuff that I need to do in this hobby and like kind of stay busy so that way it's not all in vain, right? If we spend all this time looking at homes, I'm stressed out the whole time and I'm not getting anything else done, then it's a net negative. So I'm going to try and just keep on chugging along, keep on making videos, keep on doing submissions. But anyways, just stressed out overall. But I went through this whole submission and I looked through everything. And so far, I still feel really good about all of these other cards, right? I did take out a handful of promos. I did take out a couple of these Salamaments SIR right here. I'll show you guys this one right here. I don't know if it's going to focus in on it. I think that this card is beautiful. I think that it's one of the nicest cards in Scarlet and Violet. But I also said that about the Latias EX, and both of them are trending down right now. I don't know if they've started trending back up. I haven't checked in a while. Yeah, we are grading a lot of these. In fact, I just have that one stacked on the top because it's my favorite card of the submission. But just to show you guys how many Salamaments I intend to grade, and all of them I think are potential PSA 10s. Look at this. And this might have to do with the fact that it's not a really expensive card in PSA 10 right now. Maybe they're easier to grade, I don't know. But yeah, here you have it, the massive stack of Salamaments EX. So this is going to be interesting. This is by far the craziest thing I've ever done on this channel. I've never sent this many of the same card doing anything. I definitely got carried away with these, but I also wanted to get the cleanest copies that were on the market, and I'm really, really excited because I love this card, and even if I got a ton of 10s back, I would most likely keep most of them for a long time. So, also, this submission is going to be a little different. In this submission, I am not just going to send all modern, because you know what? That's just boring. I'm going to send vintage, stuff that I know won't PSA 10, but at the end of the day is going to be fun to get graded anyways. For me, that's a part of the grading experience. It's not all about making money. It's also about getting cards graded that I like or that I've picked up for next to nothing. You guys need to understand that I'm very frugal, I'm very cheap when it comes to picking up raw cards locally. So if I'm buying these cards, I am getting an insanely good deal on them. Now, I'm not going to lie, all of these Salamaments that are in this stack came from eBay, and I did overpay a little bit on them. But if they grade well, it will 100% be worth that premium. But I want to show you guys all the cards that I'm sending that are vintage cards that I'm really excited about. But yeah, we trimmed out, and I'll go over these, but we trimmed out a lot of illustrations, and those I will be listing on eBay. I don't think I'm going to do it today, just because making this video is going to take enough time away from spending time with the fam. So I'm going to go ahead and just upload this video and deal with listing more stuff on eBay. Even this submission, I want to get it ready to send off to PSA, but again, that takes time, sorting everything, packaging, getting everything ready. Maybe I can still get it done today, but I'll probably do it another day. Anyways, let's look at some of these awesome vintage cards that are going to be in this submission that I'm excited about. This Clefairy really isn't that special of a reverse holo, but it's pretty cool looking, and it has like this print line going halfway through it that just gives it this really cool effect. So I'm getting this weird Clefairy graded. We got a level X Gengar. We're getting this guy graded. We're getting a base set Blastoise graded. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're getting this Latios graded. I don't know why that's in there. This is supposed to be mainly vintage stuff in this stack. Okay, we got a Zapdos right here. That's getting graded. Pretty sure that's going to get a 10. Okay, Palkia GX. That's probably going to get a 10. Okay, so there's some modern in this portion. I thought it was mostly vintage. We got a super off-center level X Rayquaza. We got this really awesome looking Venusaur with a gnarly swirl. I don't know if anybody's even going to see the swirl that's on this Venusaur. We got a bunch of cards that I took out of my binder. So I took some of the best cards that I had in my vintage binder, and those are cards that I'm going to end up grading. Some of my favorites, and some that I just think are nice enough to get graded. And also a lot of these cards in first edition, which is what I would want. Normally, I would just collect the best version of them in first edition, PSA 10 or PSA 9. Right now, there's a compelling argument to collect PSA 8s for first edition cards because everything is getting so expensive, and you're still getting the mint card. But anyways, a lot of these I would love to have in their nicest version possible, first edition PSA 10, but that is just not realistic. Right now, we're about to buy a home, so I'm just trying to have fun with what I've got and appreciate what I have in my collection. I've come a long way with my graded high-end vintage collection, and this is just about having fun. This is just about having fun and grading some cards that I think are really cool. Okay, so we've got the Neo Pichu. This is going to be really exciting, that one to get graded. We've got the Heracross. That one I love. I love how low pop that one is in first edition. We've got the Skyridge Arcanine. I think that art is sick. Skyridge Alakazam. I think that is sick as well. We've also got this. We've got a bunch of the Neo dogs. We got the Entei right here. And again, none of these are first edition, so nothing like super crazy, but this was when it was easier to find mint cards online. This was a different time, right? It's so much harder to find these kinds of cards online, but I just pulled these out of my binders. I was trying to finish all these sets in my binders, but just couldn't do it. I love this Umbreon. This one's gonna get like a PSA 5 probably because it's scratched up. But I love that card, and I got it for like 20 bucks, 30 bucks, so I really don't care. Togetic, this one's really, really beautiful. Excited to get that one graded. This Koga's Beedrill came right out of a theme deck, so I'm hoping that one does really well because it's essentially pack fresh. This Fossil Raichu is pack fresh. This Mewtwo came from a theme deck, so it is brand new, so I'm feeling good about that. Same thing with this Gyarados, it came from a theme deck, brand new. This Chansey I pulled out of a base set pack. It has a flaw, it has a little hollow chip, but we're gonna see how that does. I pulled this Ninetales from a heavy base set pack on our stream, and I pulled this Jungle Pinsir out of a heavy jungle pack. We're gonna see how that does. We've got some older, more beat up cards for Alligator EX right here. We have the reverse hollow Unseen Forces for Alligator, and this card is stunning, guys. This card is absolutely stunning. I really hope this one gets like a 6 or 7. It's kind of beat up, but it's just a beautiful reverse. Delta Species Espeon, that's a beautiful card. Delta Species Tyranitar, that is a gorgeous card. These reverses are gonna get like 4s, 5s, or 6s, and I really don't care, guys. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to get them graded. I think they're really cool. And they're coming out of my binder, so it's not costing me anything right now up front. This one I got out of a collection dirt cheap, the reverse hollow Dragonite. These are really rare to get in a PSA 10. My buddy just got one not long ago. But yeah, I'm just gonna grade these, see how they do. It's gonna be a lot of fun. This whole submission is gonna be a lot of fun. And I know with the vintage stuff, there's gonna be a lot of lower grades, and I'm totally prepared for that. And with the modern stuff, I fully expect with this submission, even with all these cards that I'll be sending, which again, I will be doing another large submission. I do feel like that I might be creating a little bit of fatigue with the graders. So maybe I'll chop this submission in half and I'll send it as a 2-part submission, and I'll just do 50 cards in this submission, 60 cards in this submission, or maybe I'll break it up in 3 parts. I'll send all the Salamaments now, then I'll send all the vintage together, I'll send all the other illustrations separately. I really do think I would probably get a better gem rate if I sent less cards in each submission. The whole reason with sending it all together is knowing that it all makes it there safely, and then I only pay 1 shipping fee. But for the amount of money that I could be losing by sending too much for them to grade, there is that chance that I'm causing grader fatigue. Some people have mentioned that. I don't know if you guys actually think that's a thing. If you think grading fatigue is a thing, let me know in the comment section. Let me know, like, Orion, you cannot send 100 cards to get graded. That's a terrible idea. I do know of a lot of other content creators that send really, really large submissions, and they don't go nearly as rough as mine went. So I do think that it should be irrelevant how large the submission is, but definitely want to know your guys' thoughts on that. But yeah, we've got fun vintage stuff to send, fun modern stuff to send, and then these are the illustrations that I just don't think are gonna make the cut. I had 2 of these Drowsy come back and they both got 9s. So I feel like, or maybe one was an 8, one was a 9. But I feel like I have bad luck with this Drowsy right here. I love this card, but some of these I'm just gonna be better off buying PSA 10. We got this Blitzel that I think is gorgeous. All of these just have a white speck on a corner, but a lot of them are pretty decently centered. Like this Veluza is pretty well centered. I love that Starmie is right there. Staryu. We got this guy right here, this Furret, right? That's Furret, right? We got Furret right here. This guy I pulled directly from a pack. I actually do think this one is worth sending, but it does have a white dot on the corner. So as much as I love these cards, and I got them for dirt cheap, I'm kind of thinking, Ryan, it's probably better to put these up on your eBay. You'll have a bunch of product on your eBay, and then you don't have to stress out about what grades they get. But I feel like even a lot of these in PSA 9 are going to age really well down the road. We got this SIR, that Snow Runt I really wanted to send. The Plusle I was really excited about. The Swablu's beautiful. I mean, these are all gorgeous cards, but I just don't think they're going to do well. These illustrations can be really tough to grade. Here's a couple others that I'm on the fence about these, but I want to send them, but I'm on the fence about it. Like, I can honestly afford to buy a lot of these cards in PSA 10, but it is just so much more fun to grade. That's why I'm getting into grading. It's opened up a new door of the hobby so that I think it's just so much fun. But anyways, a couple other cards that I really wanted to send, but I'm on the fence about. We got these Cleffa. I think that this Meryl is absolutely stunning, guys. Like, this is one of my favorite illustrations out of Modern right now. I love this card so much. It kind of makes sense. It's expensive. The Grotto, I think, is really, really nice. I'm always able to, in this Paldean Tauros, I always see value in illustrations. And right now, illustrations are cheap again. There was a while when the hobby was so crazy that cards like this were like 20, 30, 40 bucks. Like, people were going nuts. Now that has cooled off, these cards are again super affordable. They're like $3, $4, $5, $2. Like, nobody wants them all of a sudden all over again. So even if I sent these and they get PSA 9, here's my thinking, guys. If I'm in these cards each like $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, what does it matter if it gets a PSA 9, right? Because these, I'm going to be honest, guys, worst case scenario, these cards all get, and this is a full art, I just think is clean. It literally doesn't have a speck of whitening on it, and the centering is perfect. So that should be a 10. But my kind of thinking is, like, a lot of the cards I'm buying locally, these illustrations are dirt cheap. So I feel like I should send them off to grading anyways, but I want to know y'all's thoughts about all these ones I think that I'm on the fence with. I have completely eliminated anything that I felt like, and then we're going to talk about this real quick. I have completely eliminated anything that I felt like was just like off center from the bat or had multiple corners with whitening. Even if I picked up the cards for $2, like nothing. I'm not going to grade anything that I think is totally out of the realm of getting a good grade. But I gotta be honest, guys, I've already sold a lot of my slabs that I've listed. And what I'm seeing is my slabs tend to sell in whatever grade. So while you want to get PSA 10, I don't think you should beat yourself up if you don't get a bunch of PSA 10s, right? My gem rate is around 30 to 40%. And I think a lot of people would say, like, that's a terrible gem rate. Why would you continue grading if you have a gem rate like that? Why do you continue punishing yourself? Why do you continue sending all these cards? Because it is a learning experience. Everything is a learning experience, right? Doing the same thing over and over and over and over again is insanity, right? That's what they call that. I don't think that I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. I think that I'm constantly trying to learn and get better at this, but I'm also giving myself some grace and saying that, like, hey, this card is super dirt cheap. Maybe it gets a 9 and it sits for a couple of months, but the flip chance that it gets a 10, it could create a lot of value. And the thing is, I'm not spending a lot of effort to source these cards at all. A lot of people spend a ton of effort and time really going after cards, going to shows, hand-picking stuff out. And I respect the grind because that is how you get the perfect gem rate. But for me, I'm putting in very minimal effort, like no effort whatsoever. So like, I really don't care what they grade for the most part, but I would like to get more 10s, right? Everybody wants more 10s, but I'm just trying to let you guys know, like, from my perspective, it's hard to not want to send off even the cards that I think aren't going to get a PSA 10 necessarily, but maybe could on a good day for a grader, because I got them so cheap and it was minimal effort. And even listing these on eBay, for me, listing these on eBay right now seems like it would be more effort than just sending them to PSA and seeing what grades they get. And then from there, I could sell it directly from PSA, even though I don't do that because I like to do the video reveals. So anyways, that being said, I want to know y'all's thoughts on everything. Also, I really love this Hop Snorlax. I know it's not a valuable card, but this again was one of the random, like, last sub I sent a bunch of cheapies. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to send mainly quality stuff. But this was one of those cheapies that I was like, dude, this could be a fun card to send a PSA if it got a 10. I just like it. I like the artwork. I think it looks sick. and it's really, really well centered, and the back is super clean. So yeah, this is my like silly, stupid budget card that I would get graded. Is this Hops Snorlax. Anyways, let's talk about PSA Magazine. For those of you that are getting your PSA Magazine, one thing that I do love about PSA is that you get these awesome magazines. I did open up the Street Fighter booster pack that came in this PSA Magazine this month. The previous month, I got a One Piece magazine. It's over there. Oh no, the previous month we got, which I think this was late. I think this got here late, but we got this awesome Mewtwo magazine, and you know, I didn't even open this up. I'm just gonna keep this sealed probably, but I don't know if this came with any kind of booster pack or anything, but these magazines are worth money, which I'm sure all of you already know that people sell their stuff directly from PSA. It's just a nice way of offsetting some of your costs. It's also a nice way of just making some easy money. It is literally free money. This is a really cool, magazine, so we're gonna keep that. Put this Ghastly off to the side right here. I just think that looks really cool. But anyways, the month before last month, we got a One Piece magazine. I just sold that promo for around 40 bucks. I probably could have sold it for even more. I probably should have sent it to get graded. I have friends that send these PSA promos to get graded, and they get 10s and they sell them for like $200-300 bucks. So you can definitely, you want some easy money that doesn't really hurt the whole community, especially the Pokemon community. Get a PSA membership. Start grading cards and sell the stuff that you get sent for free. Because like, I'm not into One Piece. I'm not into Street Fighter. Even if I got a super rare card from Street Fighter, I mean, I appreciate all TCG, but my main thing is Pokemon, and I'd like to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! So, like vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! So for me, this is just an easy way to recoup some funds. Anyways, I don't know what y'all got, but I'm just sharing. I got this kind of cross-hatch, I'm not sure what to call this holo pattern, Vega. This was the one that I kind of actually wanted too. I think he looks sick with the mask and the claws. It's kind of like an off-brand Wolverine, if you will. I don't want to do any injustice to Street Fighter, but I don't know anything about Vega. All I know is that this guy last sold for about 40 bucks on eBay, and I have yet to list this one. But yeah, just sharing that with you guys that it's free money. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that get this stuff, open it, don't care about it, sell it or auction it for nothing, or even give it to someone, or throw it in the trash maybe even. So make sure you always check out what's inside of the magazine. There might even be packs or cards inside of the magazines themselves. I don't know how they do this. I've only had a PSA membership for like 6 months. So that being said, I don't know much about it. But I have been told for a long time that the PSA membership was 100% worth it for the really cool promotional items you get, like these. Anyways, guys, I'm just kind of doing my check-in. I'll see you guys on the Wednesday night stream. I have some pretty cool stuff coming in the mail. Nothing expensive. I haven't bought an expensive card in a while just because we're hunting for a home and that's the priority. But there is some really, really cool stuff that I will be showing probably tomorrow if it comes in today or tomorrow. Anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Let me know on your thoughts about grading, about my style of grading, about things that you think I can do differently, and try and be constructive. You know, I'm all for criticism, but if you're just trolling me or bashing the style of how I grade the cards, that's not fair, bro. And that's just not kosher. You know what I mean? Anyways, peace out, y'all. Have a fantastic day. And if you want to get stuff graded, grade it. Don't worry about what everybody else has to say. Peace.